This week we make real progress on our cottage renovation.
Not fast, not smooth, but actual progress.
Somewhere in between concrete, cables and 3 false starts with a paintbrush, things happen.
She's ready to rock and roll. This morning I potted up a bunch of ornamentals. Well, they're not just ornamentals, they're useful plants. So we've got some borage, we've got some marigold, we've got some nasturtiums, and we've got some zinnias. Today is one of the last remaining days this month on the biodynamic calendar for the advantageous time for flower plants. So I took the opportunity this morning to get that dialed in. Right, so main job for the day is, because it's so beautiful, I'm outside, I am buttoning up the geo. We got our sexy manifold and I am just, what am I doing? I've just been doing some digging out. I'm doing some fettling. So the final position is going to be here. And these are the 2 main header pipes coming into the manifold flow and return. And these 2 pipes go up to behind the cottage where the ground source heat pump's going to be situated. These don't have a lot of play, so there's not much tolerance here, but yeah, the manifold I'm going to situate in this area here. I'm going to pour a little pad, maybe a 3 or 4 inch thick pad, just so that it's got something flat and level to rest on. Also, I'm going to actually embed the manifold itself a couple of inches deep. The concrete bed will be flush with the base of this pipe here, a couple of inches out, so that it's actually just secured to the base, because these pipes they've got so much tension on them that I've got a feeling that they're just going to hold the whole manifold up. It's not going to be able to rest comfortably until it's backfilled, and I don't really want to be in that position. I want the manifold to be solid, stuck down, and then to be able to hook up these big fat pipes that are all under their own kind of tension and flex without them affecting the position of the manifold. So that's the plan. I've had to do a bit of digging out so that I've got the freedom to kind of move these pipes where I need them to go. This was actually all clear, but over the previous months the kind of soil and sand have kind of washed down this area. The water kind of flows down this section here, and I don't want this manifold to be submerged. It hasn't got a watertight lid. I don't want a void in the manifold to fill up with water. So the plan of action is, once I've created a small slab here, I'm going to backfill with a bunch of stone so that it's got good percolation area, good drainage area, and then I might even go to the effort of burying a land drainage pipe so that it can evacuate any water that builds up in this area here and spit it out down the field somewhere where it's not going to cause any trouble. That's my tool for the day. I've already done a bit of clearance. So these 8 ports here, or 4 pairs, are for the 4 pairs of geopipes that are buried in the 4 trenches, and then the header pipes are connected to the flow and return on the side. The header pipes are coming in at the side nicely, but the 8 or the 4 pairs of geopipes are going to be coming into the face in this direction. So I need to kind of clear a bit of space, make sure there's not soil in front there, so you've got room to work, room to coil them back up and kind of plug them into the face of the manifold without being obstructed. So beautiful sunny day, can't complain. The girls have gone to the market and I'm here digging holes. I'm looking forward to getting this buttoned up so I can stop thinking about this field and switch my mind 100% to the cottage.
This cabin cannot stay on the side quest list any longer. It's time. So first job is finishing off the staining. So you can see some parts are still unfinished. We stained it originally in haste before rain was coming in, and then we had just months and months of rain. So this is the first dry weekend that has coincided with me not having a more urgent project on. So I'm going to get the outside stained, and then I get to turn my attention to the fun stuff, prettifying the inside. And before you ask, no, there's nothing I could be doing inside the cottage right now. Okay. Also, does this happen to other people? By the time I have done the morning chores and chat with a neighbour and been to town to buy our bread from our friend who bakes, and now done all the prep work, well, almost done it all. The ponies are at their gate looking at me in that way of kind of, you know what time it is. It's lunchtime. I haven't even really started. I'm gonna get some done first. I'm just gonna ignore everybody's hungry stares and get going at least, so that after lunch I feel like I have some momentum. I'm gonna have to redo this bit because the pony, when they were free roaming, have rubbed against this to scratch and itch their behinds, and they've rubbed some of the stain already off. Ponies now kicking around their buckets just to send me a signal. This is supposed to look like chocolate pudding, is it? That doesn't look right. Does this look right to you? It doesn't look right to me. Okay, I'm going to call it. I've officially fallen at the first hurdle. I really try not to be useless with this kind of stuff. Feeling a bit useless right now because I managed to get into the paint, I've done the masking, got out all of the things that I need, and that just looks wrong to me. It has been sitting around for a while. I'm sure when we painted with it, it was very thin. It wasn't this like chocolate pudding consistency. I don't want to start using it if it's wrong somehow. I'm going to have to wait for Kayvan.
Oof, God. I have finally found the position of the manifold where these pipes are happy to kind of sit without too much pressure or tension. Yeah, those pipes kind of dictated, or at least the curvature of this one to try and get it square with the port dictated the final position of it, so I had to dig out probably 5 times more than I wanted to or expected to. It's done now, so that's the final position. I just marked out where its final resting place, and then I'm gonna put in place some shuttering, make a little concrete pad for it, and then tidy up. I've got to double check that all of the 4 pairs of the flow and return runs from the trenches actually can marry up with the ports before I actually set it in stone, quite literally. So I'll double check that now, and then we should be good to button this up finally.
Do not get tired of these blooms every time I walk up here, which is multiple times a day. They're so pretty. And there's so many bees. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up. Fishy, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh yeah? Oh, then what happened? Yeah. What are you doing, Diana? Say hi, Teak. I feel like you should take your shirt off for this because it's time for comment of the week.
Why does that mean I take my shirt off?
Because comment of the week this week comes from Jewel, who says, well, more shirtless Kayvan is the content we need to reduce stress about your deadline. We had several similar comments this week. I don't know if you saw them. Lots of people loving the shirtless Kayvan.
I mean, I don't really need an excuse to get my shirt off. I love being shirtless in the sun. Sagebrush Rambles, regular commenter. I don't care how long the Reno takes, as I'm only here for the humour, and apparently now for shots of Kayvan shirtless. I'll take that. Thank you for all of your comments this week, everyone. Especially we had a really lovely comment from somebody about the shelter belt of Willow and talking about driving their father to go and see a shelter belt that he planted during like the whole Dust Bowl thing in the States. And the house was gone, but 80 years later the trees were still there or something like that, wasn't it? I love that.
It was beautiful comment. But the comments that you guys leave for us week in, week out, they keep us smiling, don't they? And they keep us going.
So thank you, folks. We appreciate all your comments, all your feedback, all your suggestions. And yeah, we love you guys.
Yes. Okay, several hours later. The paint is now adequately stirred. That was the problem. All of the animals and people fed, taken my friend to the garage to get her car, and the weather has now turned and it's quite cold and windy. So
just as the sun sets. That is a wrap, folks. The manifold is in situ. It's partially buried in a bit of concrete, so it should stay put when all of the hard to wrangle pipes will be hooked up. Time to tidy up, have some dinner and enjoy the sundown.
Good morning. Here we are, day 2 of what should really be like a 1 to 2 hour project. Yesterday, I didn't film it, but I was just finishing off staining these doors and it started to rain, which was not forecast, and I was just hurrying to at least get it done and not finish mid-door and tidy away, and our neighbour's dog showed up. And he's very young and very fun and a bit silly, and so I had to then put everything down to get him away from here because I didn't want him covered in wood stain. So back at it today. I have a mug full of coffee with collagen and some of my vitamin D3 in it and some local honey. All the things. So this is going to give me life so that I can get this done, knocked off my side quest list, and start on the inside, which is the fun part. Oh yeah, it's good. I mean, no project feels like a hardship when this is your view and you have the birdsong as your soundtrack. So good.
The morning after the night before, it's time to remove the shuttering from this little concrete lump. So there we go, folks. One ground source heat pump manifold installed. Cheeky little concrete pad has worked out nicely. I didn't particularly plan very well. Just at the last minute I grabbed some polystyrene that was just sitting in the bin and used it to create a little void around the hookup ports, because there's going to be a joining sleeve which slips over this to actually connect the header pipe when it comes in here, and same again on the main connection ports here. So you can see the concrete has come up kind of 2 inches over the base there. Fortunately the base had a little lip just the same as the top here, and so the concrete will be like flown over that lip and holding it in. Hopefully it'll be enough to stop it weeble wobbling around. Job done on that one. So next job is for, well, I can't really do much more on this unless I found an outfit that I could hire the electro-fusion welding machine to actually join all these pipes up. So I think I'll leave that to my ground source heat pump engineer man when he comes to commission the whole setup. Otherwise, she's ready to rock and roll. The remaining plan here is I'm going to put a bunch of drainage stone in here so that the water can't really build up. I'm thinking about putting a drainage pipe, a land drain pipe, which will accept any water gathering here and kind of spit it out down the field where it can't cause any harm. I can't completely backfill, of course, until the heating engineer connects up the pipes, but otherwise I'm done. I'm done with the ground source heat loops. The ground source heat loops are done. Oof, what a mission. Fun times.
In case you're wondering what it's like to try and complete an outside painting project in Ireland. Did you know we have a secret video? It's all about why we ended up in Ireland, which you may well ask yourself given the challenges the weather has posed this weekend. What we nearly chose instead and why this wild little island won. It's a fun free bonus when you sign up for our email list. If you're curious, links below. Today kids, this is a lesson in perseverance. Against my better judgment, I'm going to keep going. I say against my better judgment because it's getting really windy and cold. It's probably going to rain again. I've been rained off twice today. And you might ask yourself the question, why, oh why, Corey, are you persevering with outdoor painting on a day with really unpredictable weather? And it's a great question, but I don't get a ton of free time amongst all of my other responsibilities and jobs and life. And I have to just grab the pockets of time that I have. If it was actually raining all day, I just obviously wouldn't have bothered, but I am inching along, so I'll just keep doing that till I'm done. I only actually have 2 sections left, so I didn't finish filming all of this because it was raining, but I did manage to do this overhang above me because no rain was coming in and up, so that was good. And I finished off the kind of balcony railings here, but I may have to go over them on a definitely dry day because the rain did get at them before they'd fully dried. So we'll see. Onwards. So all I've got left, literally stood out for 1 second and it's raining again. I've got this one little section left and it's underneath. I will get wet doing it, but I don't think it will get wet. So I think I could still do it. The trouble is I don't like the rain getting in the tin of paint while I'm doing it. Dang it. Just want to get this done. I really want to do the pretty painting on the inside where it's dry and warm and not subject to the very whimsical weather today. Whimsical? To the whims of the weather today. Look of the day. This is what we're tackling now. Blue sky. For now.
This evening's job, continuing with the wiring, in this case the speaker wiring, because what else would be a priority when you don't have a habitable home? So we got the conduit, we're doing the usual rigmarole, you know the score by now, of using gravity to help us. Fortunately the conduit is significantly wider diameter than the actual cable, it's feeding through fairly easily. These are 4.3 meters long times 2. Let's get it done. What an evening, look at that. Absolutely stunning. Hopefully we haven't been lulled into a false sense of security and it's going to just get wet and wild for the coming weeks. Neighbours' cows. Neighbourhood watch. Alright, let's finish this cabling. So that is the speaker cables running their conduits. 4 cables, rear right, rear left, front right, front left. They're ready to go in. Just need to build a cottage for them to go in now. Simples.
Whew, well, that took longer than expected, but it is done. Now I get to do the fun part of pulling off the masking tape. I don't know why, I find that really satisfying. Yeah, I'm pleased with how it turned out. This brown probably wouldn't have actually been my first choice, but we went with it because we live on a lake and we didn't want it to stick out like a sore thumb, ruining the general beauty of the landscape. And this was the colour that kind of just blended in most, made it sort of recede into the hillside. So that's, in case you're wondering why we chose this colour, that's why. Now I get to do the fun stuff inside. And I'm going to be honest with you, I am so unrealistic in my planning that I thought on this particular weekend I would be able to finish staining the outside, wash and treat the floor and paint some of the woodwork that I'm planning to paint inside. I thought I was going to do all of that, and instead I just finished staining the last remaining parts outside. Hopefully things will be on my side next weekend. How long should it take somebody to paint the last 20% of a cabin?
Probably about an hour. Did you start at 2 p.m? Did you make my folly of starting your main job of the day at 2 p.m?
I tried not to. I started at 12 p.m, but that's when I needed your help with stirring the paint. And so then after I'd done the farm chores and fed us, then it really was 2 p.m.
Right,
So, yeah.
well, there you go.
Classic you.
Start your primary objective of the day at 2 p.m. is not the way to get things done.
No, start your side quest at 2 p.m.
Yeah, forget the main mission.
Get the main mission.
That's tomorrow or next week's task.
Kick that can down the road.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you're celebrating this week.
Yeah, really cool milestone. Draw a line in the mud because the geothermal is, well, it's buttoned up as far as I can go. And the next job is for heating engineer man to come along and electrofusion weld.
Electrofusion. That's it. I think that's a laser beam type of
It really is.
fun word to say.
It really is, yeah.
Will he let you use the toy?
Probably not. They're
Slash
quite
tool.
expensive bits of equipment. So yeah, he's to turn up to actually join all of the ground loop pipes to the manifold and the header pipe back to the cottage, join those all up. The field groundworks are nearly done and dusted.
Can we woohoo?
I think once...
Does it warrant a woohoo?
Well...
Woohoo! Couldn't help it. Had to come out.
Once it's got some grass, maybe.
Fair enough. But the dig is done.
The dig is done, yeah. The groundworks are done. Well...
Don't say well.
It needs some final fettling for the grass.
Okay.
But I'm not necessarily doing that.
No more digging.
No more digging.
Let me know in the comments. Let's make a wager. How long before we see him digging something new? Exciting week. And nothing says romance like concrete and conduit. So.
It's my kind of romance.
Also, we may not have a floor or a bath or such things, but the cottage imminently will have speaker cables.
Priorities.
Another important milestone.
Yeah, well, we had our first barbecue of the year.
We've had a few now.
Yeah. So that was always a delight.
That's like that apt reward at the end of a long day on the homestead and renovation, isn't it? What do we think in summary? Was this week wildly productive or just a bit wild?
Yep. See you next week, folks.
See ya. Bye. People don't like you buttoned up.
No, well, what can I say? So I can't be naked all the time. We don't have a heating system. I get chilly for a start. You can get off now.
I quite enjoy this.
It's probably one of my biggest joys in life.
I'm sure you were going to say that. Take me outside of Hillary.
I've got no problem being bowling about in my birthday suit. You're lighter than some of the loads I've taken up there.
Somebody even suggested a calendar.
Ooh. A OG Irish homestead calendar.
Yeah. I'm not mentioning it, only wearing high vis.
I need to get some high vis undies.
I nearly fell off my stone. Safety first, ladies. Safety first.
Thank you for your appreciation.
Thank you for your appreciation of my husband's torso.